What's up, and welcome back to the Can't Be Contained podcast. You guys, I am so pumped to share this episode with you. I'm so excited for us to actually dig in and find solutions for burnout. I feel like the inspiration for this podcast came from the fact that I've been asking people like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? Whether it's my clients or what have you. And the common theme is I feel so burnt out. And so this episode is going to be all around burnout, how we reverse burnout, how we heal ourselves from burnout. So let's get started.
Can't be contained.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. So before we get into today's episode, let's go through a little life update. It's been a wild ride this last month. We were in Austin. We were in Estonia for Mind Valley, which was absolutely freaking extraordinary. I play this game with myself sometimes in the bath. I don't know why I only do it in the bath, but that's kind of just when it happens. And I say to myself, wouldn't it be amazing if? Wouldn't it be amazing if? And then I just go through a bunch of things. Like, wouldn't it be amazing if I could carve on a shortboard? Because I can't do that yet. Wouldn't it be amazing if I booked this speaking gig? Wouldn't it be amazing if? Anyways, one of my wouldn't it be amazing if moments was speaking at Mind Valley. Wouldn't it be amazing if I got to speak at Mind Valley? And so I just had this moment where I got on the stage and it just reminded me of all of those times in the bathtub being really saying that, like, wouldn't it be amazing if? And so here's a reminder to cast the vision, let go of the how, cast the vision, let go of the how, and remind yourself that the universe is so freaking generous. God is so good. And we are here to receive, and we are here to live on this epic planet at this time and really relish in all of the goodness and all of the greatness and all of the love that is here for us. So claim it today. Claim it. Wouldn't it be amazing if? Wouldn't it be amazing if? Allow your awareness to just dance around and find the thing that would feel so good in your soul. Wouldn't it be amazing if? And keep following the energy richness. You'll amaze yourself at the things that your awareness goes to. You know, there's things where I'm like, oh, I didn't think I actually wanted to get my motorcycle's license. But when I played that game, I'm like, that would be epic. And so play that game. It's really fun. All right, my loves, this episode is brought to you by the Pause Breathwork Facilitator Program. So if you have not heard, you've probably heard a million times because this is our flagship program that we've been running for nearly 7 years now. We have trained and certified thousands of people in this modality to turn them into masterful trauma-informed breathwork facilitators. The thing that I love so much about this journey is, yes, you will turn into a masterful breathwork facilitator, trauma-informed, that really knows how to create transformations. But in addition to that, you will go on an incredible personal development journey of yourself. You know, really mastery in breathwork comes down to embodiment. And so something that we pay attention to so much during the experience our clients go through is just that, their own embodiment. So if you have been feeling into your heart and knowing that you are here to change lives and you are here to wake the world up through the power of breathwork and to join us in our mission of making emotional suffering optional, then head on over to pausebreathwork.com/facilitator. I'll also put that link in the show notes for you so you can easily click it, apply, and join the program. It'd be amazing to be your mentor. All right, let's dive into today's stuff. So today is all about the burnout epidemic. We are full. We are not listening to our bodies. We are not in tune with our cycles. We are not paying attention to the nuances when our body is saying, slow down, stop doing this, just stop altogether. For some reason, we've demonized rest to be this thing that lazy people do, especially for high achievers. And so the way that I've defined burnout is caused by exhaustion from not truly following what your soul is here to do. When I am in my alignment and I'm following what my soul is here to do, which is running this company, teaching breathwork, training my facilitators, creating amazing content for our app, putting on events, I could do that all day, every day, and I do not get burnt out. But when I am filling my days and filling my calendar with a bunch of stuff that is not exciting, I am so tired. I'm like, this is painful. Right? So there's this feeling of like, I'm so tired, but I haven't really done much. When we follow our soul, when we follow what we're here to do, it is so energizing. It's so exciting. Earlier today, I was on a call and we're producing this event called Wide Awake, which is a mix of live music and visuals and breath work. And it's just so epic. And the whole time I was just full of this life force energy that was in my body and getting so excited about the collaboration and so excited about producing it and performing it. And my body was just like, yes, this is so amazing. But when I fill my days with meetings and meetings and meetings and meetings and meetings and things that just are not exciting me at the core, then there's an imbalance. And it's not to say that your whole day has to be only things that your soul is asking for, because I get that we are living in a reality where there are some things that we have to do in order to like get through this human experience, right? Like I don't want to go to the DMV and like do my license registration, all that crap. But like sometimes that's just what the doctor ordered. However, how can you choose joy more often? How can you intentionally put joy in your path? Not stumble across it, but intentionally create it. For me, that is taking an hour out of my day and just jumping in the ocean and going surfing. That is booking a dance class on a Wednesday night because I just know how good that feels in my soul. That's carving time away for Eric and I just to hang out and just be him and I, especially our weddings in like less than 90 days. It's so crazy, right? The symptoms of burnout is like you feel like you've got nothing more to give. It's that feeling of like hopeful, like helplessness. You're hopeless, you're tired. You know, it's like you might completely bust open if someone puts one more thing on your plate. That's overwhelm. That's burnout, right? It's like, oh, I can't do anything. It's like text messages are hard to respond back to. You're like, there's just so much and everything feels like it's imploding on you. So how can we free up the body energetically and emotionally to add spaciousness so that life force energy can begin to pulsate through our bones again? That's the idea, right? And breathwork is such a powerful tool for that, because what breathwork is doing is it's releasing a lot of that tension, that stress, that pain, that overwhelm that is in our body, right? We're literally using our exhale to release a lot of that tension, a lot of that stress that has been built up and built up and built up, and we're releasing it. We're letting it go. We're breathing in our life force. We're breathing in light force energy. We're breathing in ease. And so in the moments where you're feeling overwhelmed, before you even think about like, what do I need to do to get things off my plate? Just come back to the breath. Come back to the breath. Remember to breathe. Right? Burnout has such a negative impact on our cognitive functioning, right? Therefore, it impacts our creativity. Like when I'm feeling like the early signs of burnt out, I like go to write a caption on Instagram and I'm like, I am so tired right now. I can't even. And in a world that prioritizes and idolizes the masculine push and force and hustle, it takes a rebel to go, stop. Unplug from the matrix and let me plug back into source. Let me plug back into myself. Let me rest. We live in a world where rest is demonized. You don't rest. There's no time for that. Rest is the most powerful, productive thing that we could possibly do. I literally have a sticker on my desk that says rest is productive. Here's the thing. Our body has its own pacing. And when we are constantly overriding the natural pacing of our body, we are always not in consent with ourselves. We're not in self-consent. We're like, go, 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 go. The body's like, please stop. But when we honor the natural pacing of our body and we slow down, when the body says slow down, what that's going to do is it's going to create an environment internally that is energetically rich. It's going to create an environment that is just so beautiful. It's going to create an environment internally that allows us to be able to go for that next sprint. But if we're constantly sprinting, and we're not resting, and we're sprinting, doing a lot of the stuff that we don't fundamentally want to be doing, then we're going to get burnt out so quickly. Burnout isn't about doing too much, like I said. It's about doing not enough of the things that light you up. And so my invitation to you is, while you're listening to this podcast, or if you're driving or whatever, do this later, but write a list of like, what are the things in my life that fulfill me, that allow that life force energy, that powerful energy to pulsate to me and through me moment by moment? Like, what are those things? For me, it's breathwork. We already talked about it. Like, it is the quickest and easiest way. It's so funny. I'm like, you guys are like, yeah, Sam, it's so typical that you would say that. But there's a reason why I'm so passionate about this mission. There's a reason why I've been doing it for 7 years. And there's a reason why I don't shut up about it, because it's so good. The other thing for me is movement, somatic movement, shaking, moving, screaming, yelling, crawling, growling, like getting like really primal with my movement. Another thing is water. Get me in the ocean. Get me in a body of water, whether I'm in the shower or a cold plunge or the ocean or a lake. Lakes are like my absolute like favorite. Who's a lake girl? Oh my God, I'm obsessed with lakes. That is when I feel so alive. That is when I feel so freaking good, right? We have an energy meter, right? And we have things that really deplete our energy. And then there's the things that give us energy. Like me being on this podcast right now and sharing this stuff with you, like that's giving me energy. This is not depleting me. I'm going to finish doing this and I'm going to be like, wow, that was fun. I loved that. So make a list. Are all of the things that are giving you energy on a daily basis? Plan those, like put those in your schedule. Like when Sunday night or whenever you like plan your week of like your workouts and your meetings and all of that kind of stuff, put your joy activators, put your energy activators in there so that you just know, oh, cool, they're already in here. This is going to give me energy, guys. Energy is absolutely everything. We have to be so mindful of that because everything flows from that. If we're operating from burnout, if we're operating from a depleted nervous system, everything that we do is going to have that energy. Everything we create is going to have that energy. Our conversations are going to have that energy. Our relationships, just everything is going to have that energy. So really being mindful of the things that zap your energy. Can you delegate, delete them, or delay them, or just get them off your plate completely? And how can you fulfill your day with more things that give you energy? One of the biggest things that I have found to be so useful in healing burnout when I do find myself in those places is releasing perfectionism, releasing people pleasing, those two P's, perfectionism and people pleasing. If we can get rid of that, then we become more aligned with the boundaries that we have for ourselves, right? If we don't feel like we need to go to every single social thing, and we don't have to obsess over every single project being perfect, we can kind of go, whew, okay, it is what it is, right? A mantra that I say before I go to bed is, I did my best, I'm going to release the rest. So that I don't go to bed with my brain spinning in a million directions. I did my best. Let's release the rest. So after we really figure out what are the things that give us energy, what are the things that deplete us, and how can we plan our days to add more of those joy activators in our world? Then ask yourself, am I getting enough rest? Because healing burnout, like if you're listening to this and you're like, I am burnt out, okay, this comes down to two things, rest and boundaries. Okay, so after you do your energy meter and you figure out what gives you energy, what depletes your energy, then move on to, let me rectify this. Am I getting enough rest? And Sleep is not rest. I'm sorry. I know. I hate that because when I was healing burnout, I was like, no, I get 8 hours, surely. Sleep is sleep, rest is rest. Rest is doing things that are not productive, that are just nourishing. I remember once my mentor was like, can you please just stare at a wall and don't do anything? And I'm like, it's helping. Like just sitting there staring at a wall, not meditating, not breathing, not reading, just staring at a wall. It was a weird exercise, but for some reason it helped. But there's times where I'm just sitting in my chair in my backyard and I have a piece of paper and I'm just kind of like doodling, or I color, right? Do things that are not productive, that don't monetize. That's my like sneaky high achiever sometimes. Like I turn my rest times into like ways that I can monetize, or like create content, or like serve someone, or like work on my keynote. I'm like, I'm resting. And like, really, I'm not. I'm just being productive in a way that looks less than that. So a full day of rest is like, just rest, just chill, just be aligned with the pacing of your body. Like really get with the pacing of your system and go, how does my body want to move today? And it probably is so much slower. And maybe you'll be like, wow, I'm tired, right? When the body begins to feel safe, it can feel tired. So if you're like, wow, I'm really tired, honor that. Like rest, chill. If you need to take a nap, take a nap. Here's a crazy stat, you guys. The burnout costs $322 billion because of absentee, turnover, and reduced productivity. Like it is wild, 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 wild. Like we just live in a world that's not slowing down. So we have to choose that. Like I said, it's a rebellious act. We've got to choose that. Choose it, choose it, choose it. Choose it with everything that you have. Your emotional and mental state is so valuable and it's so incredibly important. The way that you show up is so incredibly important. So really allow yourself to take your mental health seriously. Take your burnout seriously. If you are feeling all of those pain points that I talked about in this episode, then take some time, do some life inventory. Do that energy meter that I talked about. What are my joy activators? What are my depleters? What are my joy activators? What are my depleters? And then from that, how can I intentionally rest? And it doesn't mean being a lazy butt all day long, even though that would be amazing and you can totally do that. But can you just rest for 20 minutes in between your meetings? Putting your feet in the earth, or just getting horizontal, not even sleeping, but just like lying. The greatest creations that I birth out of this body don't come from when I am busy and hustling and go and on the phone and doing meetings. It's when I'm like chilling out. There's a spa here in San Diego that I love going to. And I swear every single time I go to this spa, I make so much money because I'm just there and it's just spacious and I don't have my phone, and just inspiration just drops in and I'm like, oh, yes. And then I take action on that. Like for instance, the inspiration to build what is now the Life Mastermind, where I get to serve women, empower, to drop deeper into their bodies and build businesses from a place of alignment. I get to do that. So fun. So life stands for lucrative, impactful, fun, and easy. And it's just that. The life container for me is that. And that idea came from not me like figuring it out, but like me resting and opening and be like, what is it that I want to create? What is my soul here to do next? And I had this new way of working with pause. When pause dropped into me, I was like, I will create this business only if, this was my like negotiation with God. I'm like, only if it is lucrative, impactful, fun, and easy. That's it, right? How can it feel so good on our souls? How can we not self-sacrifice on the way to creation? Well, we got to rest. We got to listen, because the ideas and the inspiration that come from your body are so much greater than any manufactured thought in your mind. So don't forget that. You always know. All right, my loves, this is everything for this burnout epidemic episode. I hope you loved this one. If this was valuable for you, it would mean the world to me if you would share it with a friend, send them the link, and pass on the love. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode, and we will catch you next week. Lots of love.